Dogs.com and sportschatplace.com, and it is Sunday, September 13th, 2020, here with your free live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Thanks to everyone that joins us. You can see right here on our counter behind us, we have crossed the 20,000 subscriber mark. Ruffalo always says that that's the number of people that are banned or blocked for making comments on our show, but it's probably close as well. But 20,000 people joining our show, our channel. Pretty good stuff considering that our channel is really a fraction of the age of some of these other shows out there and some of these other channels out there. So I say what our goal is. Everybody knows what our goal is, but I lost the viewer here. There it is. Oh no, what is that? Anyways, I wonder what's going out to the world. There we go. I have technical problems right out of the gate. There we go. All right. It's like they send over an update for the software right at the beginning of the show. Anyways, we got a full card of NFL football today. We got Major League Baseball. We got NBA. We got tech problems. We got the Puck Dogs. We got Bittler. That's Zawacki, Ruffalo, and we have no plant-based crackers today. That was a good bit, but we're gonna have to move on to some new material. Anyways, let's get right into it. Brian, college football Saturday, how'd it go for you, and what do you got on tap today?
2-1 in my college football premium plays.
I got him muted. Anyways, sorry about that. Go ahead.
2-1 in my college football premium plays. Just didn't get Western Kentucky didn't get the cover for me. But today, NFL, I believe, is the easiest sport to bet. I'm going 3-0 early. Get all three of my NFL plays for just $39.95. That's the early bookie violator and the golden ticket, all in that pass.
How about you, Rod? Someone's got a phone. It's got to be Bittler. Chris, what's going on today?
Yeah, for me it was shoulda, woulda, coulda yesterday. I had Clemson and Tulane kind of shaft me late, but you know what? It's like we say, we only look forward, we don't look backwards. And today I'm gonna destroy the books. I got 7-pack of my best NFL throughout the day. I've also got a 5-pack for MLB up at the website, or you can have it all part of my Stack Sunday Pro Pass on over at the website.
Nice. How about you, Rod? What's up?
For me today, I've got Sunday morning NFL pack, or I've got the Sunday mixed bag pack, which has the NBA, NHL, and the baseball all in it. Or you can get it all together in one big giant Super Sunday pack available.
Nice. I have an early NFL 3-pack. I have a late NFL 3-pack, and I also have checking. Oh, I know what I'm missing is my other light over there. My light's out. I already didn't turn it on. Is really what happened. But I have an early NFL 3-pack. I have a late NFL 3-pack that includes the NFL Monday Night Football game, and I also have a 6+1 where you get all 6 NFL picks of mine plus tonight's NBA Clippers Nuggets pick, which I am still. I think I'm still number one in NBA. I won yesterday, so hoping I don't check the standings all that often, but the last I checked, I was right up on there on the leaderboard. I'm either 1 or 2 or 3. I'm in the mix. It's like some people say stuff about you, the good stuff, and you're like, well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm just happy to be part of the conversation. I think that's how I am in NBA, one of the toughest sports on the card, next to NFL football, which is really, the granddaddy of them all of sports handicapping. It is where separates the men from the boys, and these are the toughest ones for bettors. The NFL takes in more money in Vegas than any other sport, and that makes these lines tight as a vice. I don't think there's any other sport where teams lose and cover more than the NFL. It always seems to come down to the last minute. I mean, these games always seem to come down to the last minute. Even on Thursday night, the Texans recover. Onside kick, they throw the ball down the field and they cover, right? I mean, that's how, it doesn't matter what the score is at halftime or, in the first 5 minutes or anything like that. The NFL, the back door is always wide open. But let's just go to the NBA first. We'll get it out of the way. I like doing NBA first. It's kind of like the way we've been doing it on the show. And then we'll get right into the NFL. But, Brian, quickly, the Clippers and the Thunder, speaking about leaving the door open, the Clippers, a chance to close them out. Most teams at 3-1, I think it's like at 60 or 70% or something. It might even be higher than that. When a team goes up 3-1, they close the team out. The Clippers unable to do that against the Nuggets. And I'll tell you, I talked about that fourth quarter defense of the Clippers on the show. And, there it was. You got a team in the Nuggets that believes they can win. They were in a war series before this, and they came out of the war just right. Looks like this one's another war. What do you think?
Man, do I stink in the NBA? But in this game, I in these kind of series, the later it gets, the more I like the under here. And I got to believe that we're seeing a lot of contested shots in this game. I think both teams really buckle down, play defense. I like the under.
How about you, Chris?
I'm going to take the Nuggets on the money line. The Nuggets are 4-0 elimination games this postseason, and they don't want to go home. You could tell from that fourth quarter the other night, and I just think that I think the Nuggets force another game here. So I'll take Denver money line.
Look at the balls on this kid. How about you, Rod?
I think we got a tight game here. Type out. Give me the under.
I forgot to do the podcast. I forgot to record for the podcast. Oh, well. We'll have to rejoin. But anyways, this is Mitch, of course, with the gang. Brian Bittler, Chris Ruffalo, and Rod Zawacki. For those of you just joining us, we're going over all of today's card. We just went over the NBA. Chris Ruffalo calling the Nuggets on the money line. The other guys liking the under. I'm on the over here in the Clippers Nuggets. I just like to go against Bittler in the NBA. Certainly become one of my favorite pastimes this season. Bittler says A, I say B. He says white, I say black. He says green, I say blue. It's pretty much been a pretty good strategy for me in the NBA this season. I mean, normally Brian, one of the best handicappers out there. I wouldn't be doing that in NFL or college football. That's for damn sure. But in the NBA this year, it's
horrible. The restart.
Since the restart, it's really been some of the worst. I think Brian sometimes in his NBA this year, I think he's gone too much on the line movement and not enough on the actual what's going on, because I think in what we've seen, and I don't know if it's because we've seen it in baseball as well, is that without the crowd, a lot of this other stuff goes out the window, because it's like home dogs in the SEC and home dog, it's like this home field advantage is kind of out the window in a lot of these situations. And I think we're going to see it as we go through the NFL card, at least my feelings on it. And we're going to, we'll see how it plays out throughout the day. Of course, I will be live today, halftime of the early NFL games. I go live from the very first halftime all the way until the final game goes off again. And then I go halftime live on Sunday Night Football as well as Monday Night Football, and there's 2 games. So it's a lot of Mitch during NFL season. Not gonna say there isn't, but I don't know. People seem to like it, and until the comments get really brutal, I'll probably continue to do it. And they're gonna have to get a lot. You guys are gonna have to be a lot. The trolls are gonna have to work a little bit harder this year than they normally do. I mean, the same, like, you stink, you lose every pick, I just bet against you, all those. It's getting old. It's just so boring at this point. Get something original, like show some actual data, Let's see some actual data and records and things like that, some real stuff and some pictures of yourself, like some accountability, and then we'll take you a little bit more seriously. But anyways, speaking of trolls, Bittler, we got NFL season is here, all right? We had Thursday night. There was no preseason, little taste. We've seen some guys opt out, and it kind of slid under the radar, right? This kind of slid under with guys opting out, and we're going to start to see it more in college football. By the way, the Big Ten is voting today. All of a sudden, it's like with the SEC not starting for another 2 weeks still. The Big Ten, actually, if they can get it going in 2 to 3 weeks, they're not going to miss much, And my guess is, well, the Pac-12 is not going to do it. I mean, they're not going to do it. It's like, because we're not going to really get into it, why the Pac-12 is not going to do it. But let's just say the Pac-12, what they do doesn't make a lot of sense to me anyway, because here's the conference that puts their games on a TV station that nobody gets. It's not even on DirecTV, and then complains about why they're not in the playoffs because nobody sees your games, right? It's like, anyways, I mean, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But we do have NFL Sunday. Brian, before we get going on the NFL picks, I know you are one of the best NFL pickers of not just of last season, and you're really one of the best NFL pickers out there. And I say that 100% sincerity. It's not a hype show here. It is documented winnings. Brian, where do you start, like, with your NFL handicapping? Like, what has been your constant? And if you say fading my picks, I can understand it. But I think what's your constant?
I think in the NFL, what helps me is the amount of people betting on the NFL. The more you see, you really can get a feel for a line because of how much action's taking place. Now, when you counter that with the NHL, it's a little bit less better than Major League Baseball right now. So really what helps me is the amount of people betting on the NFL. That really helps me get a feel. And I start looking at a game early in the week, take its temperature by the end. One of those games was the Dolphins. Really loved that early on, and not so much right as we speak this second.
Yeah, the thing is that for me, and on that same note, is that whenever you have a sport that more of the public is betting on, it's always to my advantage. It's like if you're playing against it's like all these people that played the stock market into during the COVID break to fix their gambling fix. See, I used to work on Wall Street, so I know who you're playing against, and you're over the long term, you're going to lose badly. Those mansions you see in the Hamptons, in Wolf of Wall Street, and those other types of things, those are real, and those are built by those people, and they win a lot, man. So that's whose stock you're buying when you buy in the open market. You're not just buying stock that's phantom out there. That somebody has to be selling it. I know those people, and trust me, you're not going to win over the long haul. You will not. You will lose a lot of money. But anyways, I see the same thing, Brian. I see a lot of public action, and I think you see, a lot of people, enamored with favorites and overs. And, in general, just because one team is better than the other team doesn't mean they're going to cover the spread. Chris, what do you look for in NFL football? Like, just out of the gate, like, what's your secret sauce?
For me, I tend to look at more just history between teams. I mean, especially within the division, but when it's teams that don't play each other all that often, I tend to look more towards recent form, how teams are playing. When it's early season like this, first week, I tend to look at what moves were made in the offseason, whether it's a coaching change, personnel change. If a team like Tampa Bay brought in all these players, how's it going to affect the chemistry going forward? It's just a bunch of little intricate details, especially with week one, but I mean, it's worked out well so far. So.
The Tampa Bay situation, right, with Tom Brady there, and obviously Leonard Fournette and Rob Gronkowski and a few other players, but they didn't have the preseason to bring it together. But Brady, a known team leader, and he had organized practices long before the things were going on. You think that translates into game production against the New Orleans defense that was pretty good last year, and a team that's gonna, this is a team a couple of years in a row now, right? That's had a couple really bad missteps in the playoffs after having spectacular seasons. And, a team that lost to Tampa Bay last year at home, and in hindsight, it ended up not mattering in the end because they lost to the Vikings in the playoffs. But had they beat the Vikings, they would have been on their way to San Francisco. And had they beaten the Bucs earlier in the season at home, they would have had home field throughout. Every game counts, whether it's as Pete Rose used to say in baseball, it's the games in the early weeks that makes those games in the late weeks mean something. Rod, how about you? What is your overall NFL strategy? Like your secrets, your one thing that you're always like looking at.
For me, you're always looking at who's starting, who's playing. For me, I'm a field guy, so there's no fans is tough. It's tough for me. I'm finding it's harder to you get more of a feel. You miss that crowd that hypes your team up when they're down and they're not doing so good. You don't get that, so it's a little bit harder for me. I'm getting a grasp of this. No fans, man. It
Rod's gonna ease into it. Most stadiums do have fans, just not full capacity. Most have 25 to 40% is what it's looking like. But we have, for me, it's like I can be difficult, and it's kind of like what Brian is saying. It's like you get the public involved, you get the rah-rah cheerleaders. This is my game, right? This is my element because I love to take the other side of an argument, and I think in the NFL is kind of the place where you get to do that. There's so many players that are hyped on ESPN and the other stations like that it's easy to not like these guys because the public will rally and will make a guy out to be a superstar before he's actually earned that. In the NFL, you really have to earn it. I think for every, Carson Wentz and Mitch Trubisky, who was drafted and was already anointed, right, that he's a legitimate NFL player before he ever took a snap, and there's, for every one of those, that doesn't become a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning, and, what Mahomes is now, for the NFL. There just aren't that many of those guys. Put it this way, Peyton Manning's been retired for a few years. I'm still using him as an example. Tom Brady's at the end of his career. I'm still using him as an example. Mahomes is the only active guy that really in that category right now at quarterback. He's the only one.
Anyway, Russell Wilson's pretty.
I'd say Russell Wilson, too. Russell Wilson as well. I'll give you those two. But that's two. And Aaron Rodgers, right? Would you say Aaron Rodgers? But even he's kind of at the other end of it right now. But Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, I'll give you those three. And there's probably a couple more, and people are going to argue. And, it's always a good stack of debate. But let's just say, who would you rather have, Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott? Who would you rather have? Patrick Mahomes or Kirk Cousins or David Carr or we can go on and on and on all day here. Who is or Tua? Who would you rather have? Any of these guys, right? Joe Burrow. Let's see what happens today. Speaking of today, let's get into it. My Dolphins, you guys know I'm from Miami originally. Dolphins season ticket holder still. I live in Hawaii, as far away from Miami as you can get geographically. Yet I'm still a season ticket holder for the Miami Dolphins. Crazy, right? New England Patriots and Miami Dolphins here, Brian. You talked about this game in your preview stuff. The interesting thing for me about this one, and I asked Brian, but people love hearing me talk, and they think I don't talk enough, so I'm going to kind of say something. But the Patriots seem to have more COVID guys than any other team. I mean, I don't mean COVID like that caught COVID. I meant that opted out of the season than any other team.
I think that has more to do with their contracts, probably. They want to guarantee themselves some. A lot of those guys are older guys that opted out. Maybe they were going to be cut by the Patriots, but maybe they cut veterans all the time.
They also sign a lot of veterans and get a little bit of mileage at the end of their career. Bill Belichick made a call to Aqib Talib trying to get him to come on. That just tells you what the secondary probably looks like for the Pats. What do you think here in this game?
I'm going to stick to my guns and stick with the Dolphins. It's not a game that I'm hot on right now. I'm not going to be betting a ton on, but I think the Dolphins have a chance to win outright. I'll take the points.
Chris?
Yeah, and Miami's always a team. I'm a Patriots fan. I'll tell you, Miami's always a team we struggle with. We lost outright to the Dolphins in the last 3 of the last 5 games. I'll take Miami here.
How about you, Rod?
I agree. It's just too many points here. So many unknowns. Give me the Dolphins +7.
You just rarely see Cam Newton blowing people out. You got speaking of Cam Newton, you got the Panthers up against the Raiders. This line moved from a pick'em to the Panthers +3 as a home dog. Coach Rule making his debut today in Carolina up against Gruden. Carolina's got some secondary issues as well. I really hate that Panthers secondary. I like a lot of the things that the Panthers have going on. I think Teddy Bridgewater, good manager of the game. Probably a welcome change there in Carolina. It fits Rule's system a lot better. But that secondary in Carolina, and you know that Gruden's going to know about that secondary, and he's got Ruggs now. It's like, uh-oh. I really I like the Panthers a lot more than I like them now, but I still like them. How about you, Brian?
This line opened at a pick. Now it's at +3 Panthers. In the past, I've loved to fade the West Coast teams playing at 1 o'clock. It hasn't really worked so well the last 2 years. But here, I think Teddy Bridgewater has a big game, just enough to get the cover. I'll take Panthers +3.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Panthers as well. I like what they're going to have offensively with Bridgewater and McCaffrey, and I think they give the Raiders some issues here.
How about you, Rod?
Give me the over. I think we see enough points here to get over this number.
Here's an interesting one. The Vikings and the Packers. I think, giving Aaron Rodgers points is never a great idea. I always think Minnesota is one of the toughest buildings. It's so loud in that dome, but without the fans, I can't see it being nearly as tough. And Aaron Rodgers is just, he's the type of guy, he'll get sacked 9 times in the first half and come back and rally the troops, which we have seen him do. That game, the Golden Tate game, Aaron Rodgers was sacked 9 times in the first half of that game. He came back and rallied the troops and took the Golden Tate call to beat him. But this is a different game. This is the Vikings. Dalvin Cook got his money, so he's one little ding. He's gonna not really be playing anymore, right? It's like he just signed that big check. What do you think here, Brian? I like the Packers.
And when I first saw the line, I kind of liked the Packers about a month ago, but the closer we get to game time, I'm liking the Vikings here. Super talented team at home. I think they got more talent on the Vikings than the Packers do. So I know Aaron Rodgers is a guy that you don't want to bet against, but in this case, I'm going to go $50 Vikings.
I put a couple bucks. I didn't give this one out as a premium. I gave this one out. I believe it's my dog of the day. I put a couple bucks on the Packers here. And, I just think that even if the Packers come up short, I could see this one, even with a 2.5 point spread where the points could factor, Anyways, how about you, Chris? I think he's frozen. Oh, now he's unfrozen. Chris? Packers, Vikings.
I think you're right. This 2 points could play into it. I could see it being a 23-21 game. I'll take the under.
How about you, Rod?
I agree with Chris. Give me the under. This division battle will be lower scoring. Give me the under.
I respect that the Packers cut all their linebackers after last year's San Francisco game. I really respect that. It was just like, you know what? We're never going to win with you guys. You guys have to go to the Giants. It was like, that's pretty much what they did. They're just like, you'll be playing for the Giants next year. It's like the entire linebacker core. We've got a big line mover in recent days here. Atlanta Falcons, always a crowd favorite. This is always the sharp team. And last year, the Sharps, the last 2 years, Sharps have really gotten destroyed on the Falcons. Brian, Falcons against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. I kind of could see the Falcons as a dog, but as a pick 'em, I do not see it.
In this game here, I'm going to lean towards the under. I think we see uncharacteristically improved Falcons defense, and Seattle's normally stout on defense. I'm going to lean towards the under.
How about you, Chris?
Give me Seattle here. I like Russell Wilson. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder after yet again not getting a single MVP vote last year. So I'll take Seattle.
Yeah, this has got that 1918 written all over it. Rod?
It does have 1918 written all over. Give me Seattle here.
Yeah, Seattle's always one of those teams where it's like, this is a weird thing. It looks like terrible, and it's like it never looks good, right? But they always seem to get it done. We got the Jets going to Buffalo. I've been critical of Gase, since he came out of the womb. And, here he is with his Jets in Buffalo, a place where he catches a pretty good break, a double break here. Number one, he catches this game early in the season, right? So he doesn't have to deal with the Buffalo weather. And number two, catches it without those Buffalo fans. And I know in the old days, I'm not sure if they still allow this in Buffalo, but used to be allowed to bring in a quart of the beverage of your choice. into the old Rich Stadium. I don't know if you're still allowed to do that. It was like a quart or like a half gallon of the beverage of your choice. It was like, it could be vodka if you wanted to. I don't know. I think that I'm going to guess that after 9/11 they probably did away with that, but I'm not sure. But Buffalo and the Jets, the Jets were a team that went heavy free agency last offseason, not this one that just passed, the one before that, never had the chemistry of all those guys. Now Le'Veon Bell's probably healthy. They probably, it's like the Jets might actually be a little better than I'll ever give them credit for. I don't care. I'm not betting on a Gase team, but that's you. Brian, what do you think?
Lots of public love for the Bills, and I think in this case I'm going to side with the public here. Buffalo, if you can get that number 6.5, don't go past 7 though. Take the Bills here slightly.
Yeah, it's not a love game, that's for sure. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of tables spared from the Bills Mafia this season in those tailgate parties. But, yeah, I like the Bills here as well. I just think that the Jets might have actually gotten worse in the offseason.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I like the Bills here as well. Give me the Bills. Cover the touchdown.
You got the Cleveland Browns up against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm personally offended that Baker Mayfield acts like he's relevant in the football landscape and acts like he's allowed to even have an opinion. And the fact that the press even covers this like he is an important person or an important player in this league is offensive. It's just downright offensive. I don't understand how this works, but somehow Baker Mayfield's comments make the press. I don't even get it. This guy stinks. They're gonna get housed. And I'm gonna enjoy it. I don't have a premium pick on this game, but I have a bet on this game, and I'll tell you what, man, I'm gonna enjoy it. Cleveland's gonna get housed. And it's gonna be Baker Mayfield's gonna get pounded because he stinks. What do you think, Brian? This one's personal.
I think in this game, I'm going to side with the under. I think Cleveland's defense plays better than it has in prior seasons, and Baltimore always tough. You're going to see a lot of running the ball for both sides. Both teams are going to be running the ball heavy. So I see a fast-moving clock. Give me the under.
Yeah, there's an odd thing. I'm going to go ahead, Chris and Rod, and then I'm going to ask our audience some questions after this because there's a new thing that I have to do. And it's like, it's messing up my statistics. But anyways, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the over here on the other side. I just think it slightly goes over that number. I think I'm seeing 40, 49. I could see it going up to 50, 51. I see it being a 28-24 or 31-20 kind of game. Give me the over.
For me, I like the Ravens here. Good old Ravens ass kicking to start the year off. Ravens got better. They didn't get worse.
Yeah, so the question I have for the audience really has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the games or the shows. It has to do with the show, actually. What happened is that the software that I use, they make me use this thing called YouTube Events. They're changing the format from YouTube Stream to YouTube Events, and I see that there's 423 people on our YouTube event and 66 people on our regular page. I have to look at our regular page now to see, but it's like anyone see anything different or have a different experience joining our show today on YouTube? That's really the question. I don't really understand this stuff, and I'm going to have to eliminate the stream option because YouTube's taking it away. They're only going to allow for this events option. Is there any difference on your end? Just let me know, and we'll always work around it because it's something different for me. So because I see the numbers alternating. Like if I look at my counter here, it says there's only 237 people watching, but if I look at my counter on there, it doesn't count the 430 people watching us on the YouTube event. I don't know if that means that it just doesn't show on our YouTube page, or what does that mean? Anybody? I don't even know. I have no idea. But if you guys can help me out with that in the comments or in the Facebook group, or email me, mitch@pickdogs.com, greatly appreciated. We got the Washington football team up against the Eagles. Don't dare say that other name because not allowed to say it, even though everybody said it. But it's forgiven. Yeah, it's showing 64 views on YouTube, but the event shows, right? It's just weird. So weird. Anyways, Brian, what do you think of this one, the Washington football team?
As far as non-premiums go, this is probably my favorite pick. I could see Washington easily winning this game against the Eagles. Definitely take the points here. Worth a solid $100 play.
How about you, Chris?
I'm going to side with the over. I think this one easily goes over that number.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I think that's too many points in this division battle. 3 points. Field goal wins it for either one of these sides. Give me the points.
I wish I could show you guys what I'm looking at because it shows on our live 520 people watching and on another one 120. So it's like we're on two different YouTube things at once. It's like two different shows at once on the same channel. Way weird. I can't figure it out. But
it doesn't look any different on YouTube from the other end.
No?
I'm looking and I don't see anything. There's still a number there. On the Pick Dogs channel, it says 435. I'm not seeing anything different. It looks the same from this end.
All right. It doesn't matter. We're still here, you know. We got Ruffalo. You know, he just I know why he was it looked like he was sleeping there or he was frozen, but he was actually watching the mechanics of the Colby Allard pitching motion just so he has that down for next time out. It's like Allard pitches, he's in. Chris, Washington football team against the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the over here. I like the over.
How about you, Rod?
I like Washington plus the 6.5. Too many points.
You know, last year I took the Washington football team. They opened. This game was at Philly last year, and I took it on the show, and people just hammered me, and they ended up backdooring them. I think Carson Wentz is my least. I mean, Baker Mayfield and Carson Wentz are two of my least favorite players in the NFL. At least Matthew Stafford kind of doesn't say anything, right? He kind of he's not good. He gets paid a ton of money, but at least he doesn't say anything. Carson
I think
Wentz,
my worst bad beat came against Redskins and Eagles last year. It's the second game in Washington. You remember where the quarterback got hit as he was throwing? He fumbled it, and Graham took it back for a touchdown. Cost me a Redskins cover. That was my worst beat. I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, it's I just think I just think that this is a long comment. Thank you, Arthur, for the comment. It's got those. So. No, but thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I like Washington here. I can't stand the Eagles. And I hate Doug Peterson as a coach. Originally, I really, really liked him, and I thought that a lot of his play calling in that Super Bowl against the Patriots was gutsy. But I think a lot of it, but that thing is, that's a game where you kind of have to leave it all out there. You know, I do, and I think that he was in situations where it called for those kind of plays. But I think in a generic game, and in a generic situation, that 3rd and 7 is 3rd and 7. It does not call for a 45-yard out pattern. It does not call for it 65 or 70% of the time. You have a good tight end. You have him go out 9 yards and turn around, and you throw the ball in his chest, and then you start over again. That is how it works, okay? And maybe call me a traditionalist, and call me an idiot the 1 out of 100 times that play works. Your receivers aren't good enough to run that play. Maybe 4 years ago when you won the Super Bowl, they were, but they're not good enough anymore. Your receivers are not good enough, and you didn't even get the guys you wanted in the draft for receivers. Brian.
I think they have two stud tight ends. I think
place.
Goddard's pretty tough to stop too, along with Ertz, those two.
Right, but I'm talking about the receivers, right?
Yeah.
This is still a bad receiving core. You drafted Nelson Aguilar, right? And you expected him to be a star. This guy can't catch a cold, man. I could guarantee you he's never tested positive for the corona because he can't catch anything, man. Can't catch anything. He absolutely stinks. And so they go out. They wanted Ruggs. They thought they were getting Ruggs. And he would have been a great fit. No way. They didn't get Ruggs. They didn't get Jerry Jeudy. They got nothing. They got like the leftover guy that's going to be out of the league in 3 years. That's what they got. It's kind of like when the Jets drafted Calvin Johnson's replacement at Georgia Tech. It's like, well, this guy came after Calvin Johnson. Yeah, but it's still a wishbone offense. You know, I don't care what you say. You know, yeah, but Calvin Johnson came out of that. Yeah, a little different, right? A little different. Yeah, Eagles are just a mess, man. I really don't like this team. Way overrated. Carson Wentz, I mean, really a bum. B-U-M. And I know everyone. I know I'm going to take some heat on that, but I don't care. Show me something.
If you pull up his statistics, though, he has.
I don't care. I'm not a fantasy player. I am a sports bettor. And I know when my chips are on the table in the big game and when it really counts, this guy isn't on the field or he doesn't perform up to those levels. They lose games that they have no business losing.
Yep.
If they were playing Detroit this week, I'd be on Detroit. 6.5 points on the road. You got to be kidding me. Lions and the Bears. Speaking of the Lions, Matt Stafford. Is he still the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, Brian?
Boy, I can't imagine that he's still the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I don't know for a fact. I haven't looked at contracts.
I don't know.
Isn't Mahomes the highest after that giant contract he just signed?
Yeah, Mahomes, then Watson, and then Russell Wilson.
How much is poor Matthew Stafford making a year these days, Chris? I would like to know how much he's making per snap. Is where we're going with this.
give me a second. I'll get it.
We're gonna figure out how much per pass attempt that good old Matthew Stafford's been making the last few years. Anyways, Brian, we got the Bears and the Lions while Ruffalo's doing our research for us.
That would be why Matthew Stafford hasn't opened his mouth. He's been all nice and quiet. He's been like, yeah.
Well, they show him like on private jets with Matt Ryan, his buddy, right? They're both like at massive contracts.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean to the under in this one. I don't see the Bears scoring too many points and the Lions really not going crazy on offense. So I think it creeps under the total.
Getting some major heat here in the comments from the Carson Wentz hating. Yeah, you know, I'm not. I'm just going to call it what it is. And you know, the thing is with these guys that I call out, like you, Darvish, you come in, you do your thing, you do it. I'm the first to give you credit too. But I've seen nothing from Carson Wentz. The Eagles won a Super Bowl, but not with Carson Wentz, right? It was addition by subtraction. It was Bryce Harper, not Carson Wentz. I mean, Bryce Harper is like the Nationals got rid of him. They won the World Series. Carson Wentz went to the sideline. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. It's addition by subtraction. Speaking of subtraction, Chris, who do you like in this Bears Lions tilt? Brian, your camera, like you're kind of in the I don't know what it is. It's weird.
I like the Lions here because I'm not going near Mitch Trubisky. But Matthew Stafford's contract averaged $27 million a year, and his last full season back in 2018, he threw 555 pass attempts. So for an average of about 48,000 a pass attempt.
Oh my God! And you wonder why tickets to NFL games are so expensive. What's the price of parking at the Lions Stadium at Ford Field? That'll be the next question. Who do you like in this game? We'll go to Rod, and then we'll find out how much it costs to park at Ford Field these days. And you'll see how Matthew Stafford is paying, how they're paying for this Matthew Stafford contract. Rod?
For me in this game, everybody always is like, oh, Trubisky sucks. Well, the one team that Trubisky actually plays well against is Detroit. He's 3-0 against Detroit and completes over 70% of his passes. I'll take the Bears on the money line here. over Detroit.
The other thing I'd have to say about Trubisky, as critical as I've been of him over the years, right? Since the day he was drafted, right? Because I was like, how can you draft a guy with 1 year experience, and trade up and all that? So it didn't make any sense to me. Is that when they let when Trubisky has had no success is when they've told him to stay in the pocket. When they've told him to go ahead and run and play your game, he's been great. So you have to give him that mobility. He's not a pocket passer. You want him to be a pocket passer, but he's not. So it's like if they give him the freedom to do it, he can play. Got the Jaguars against the Colts this is the mundane game of the day. This is the one I've heard the least about. I hate Minshew. I think that was I mean, you don't have to keep Nick Foles, but I mean, Minshew is not an answer for an NFL QB. He's the answer. He's like, I'm surprised he's not on Dancing with the Stars with Baskin. It's how in the hell does Baskin get on Dancing? It's like, let's really dig. Let's take Chriselle from Selling Sunset. Let's find the most B-list celebrities we can get. Baskin, Neve from Catfish. Okay, it's like, let's throw in Connor. Anyone got an in on Gardner Minshew? It's like,
let's bring in. We have to have an NFL player. Let's bring in Connor Cook.
Brian, you Dancing with the Stars or Phillip Rivers and the Colts?
I think you see a better game from Gardner Minshew than Phillip Rivers. I mean, I thought Phillip Rivers was shot last year with the Chargers, and just too many people betting the Colts on the road laying over a touchdown. I'll take the Jags at home.
How about you, Chris?
Price of parking at Ford Field on game day, $10.
Oh, really? No way.
That's good.
That's
a
way
deal.
cheap. The Dolphins are like $30.
$40 if you want a tailgate, but $10 for just general parking. I'm going to lay the points with the Colts here. The Jaguars are going to be drafting Trevor Lawrence at the end of this year. And I think it starts here.
So a couple years ago, like everyone knows, like I love college football. So like I know all the players, and like most of my friends that play fantasy, they'll ask me, who's the guy, This year it's the guy, and I can't even remember his name off the top of my head. It's the guy who drafted out of Ohio State that plays for the Ravens, right? The running back that I wanted the Dolphins to get. Right? He's
J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah, he's the guy, right? This year, easy, right? I mean, that's the easy one. But the guy who was my pick a few years ago was Paris Campbell. And this guy has not come through. But I could see with Phillip Rivers him actually coming through here. I could see this one kind of like he's I picked him, right? He's still out there, right? He's still in the league. He hasn't performed quite to the level that we had thought, but he's still out there. He's still in the game, and he hasn't had a ton to work with. I like Paris Campbell, man, but I really don't like. The Jags seem to want to break it down and then build it back up, and usually those break it down, build it up teams get waxed in the first 3 or 4 games, like really waxed, like the Dolphins did last year against Baltimore type games, and you got Paris Campbell with something to prove. You got a healthy T.Y. Hilton, you have a healthy running game. I think, I don't love this game, but I don't know, man. I think it becomes a blowout. Maybe we see Jacob Eason, maybe we see him. I see. This is where we got cheated on preseason. Who didn't want to see Jacob Eason, man, slinging there for the Colts? We got the Chargers and the Bengals. The Joe Burrow show is in town in Cincinnati. Local guy comes home, plays QB, wins the Heisman, cashes my Heisman ticket. That was a monster, right? I showed that ticket. Monster. No one had Joe Burrow until when everyone was saying Joe Burrow was going to win the Heisman, like 8 games into the season. Right? It was like a little late to get the price that we got. What did we get? Plus 150 on him? I don't even remember. It was like was he plus 300? Or plus 3,000? Plus 3,000, right? It was like 300 to 1 or something I got on that. I showed the ticket on the show. I wonder if I ever cashed that thing. I have to look. We got. I must have. Well, either that or it's a good keeper, right? It's a good keeper. We've got the Bengals against the Chargers. The Joe Burrow show. a lot of times these home, if it was, I could see if there was fans in the stands, maybe Joe Burrow having the thing, but what I see is a Chargers defense that's got teeth. And what I see is a Chargers team that doesn't have Phillip Rivers to throw the interception anymore. But the Bengals defense not bad, but I think Atkins isn't playing. That's a problem. Big problem. Right?
This game and the Bills-Jets game are two games that I didn't bet at all. But if I had to bet it, I would take the Bengals at home plus the points. I think they get it. I think they win outright, but we'll see.
A lot of times, what you'll see is like the guy will have the big game early, in his career, and then he goes through the learning process. So I could definitely see that angle, but there's also like, the Bernie Kosar taking his first snap in Cleveland and the ball goes through his legs. I think Peyton Manning too. Same thing happened to him. First snap ever he comes in, the ball goes right between his legs. Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over. I think they're gonna be the Bengals gonna be Joe Mixon heavy, at least for the first little bit of this one. They won't make Burrow play hero ball just yet, but he's gonna make some plays, and I see the Chargers making some as well. So give me the over.
How about you, Rod?
I'll take the Chargers here. That defense is still really good. And the Bengals defense, not so good.
I should maybe this was my year to play fantasy football. It'd be Mitch's fantasy football sleepers. I also like Pittman on the Colts.
I took your sleeper last year, Mitch. I don't know. The Darrell Henderson. I don't know.
Oh,
I think we have to get a team. We have to get a sports chat fantasy league going.
Well, the problem with Henderson is that he ended up in a crowded backfield. And now they got rid of Todd Gurley, so he's.
I think this year you'll see him come to the top a little bit.
I mean, in Memphis, he was a home run hitter. He was a touchdown every time. You're not going to have that in the NFL, but he didn't really get his opportunities. It's like you have to get the opportunities to get the chances, and a lot of times the rookie running backs do get their opportunities if they earn them. But he was in a tough spot. You're up against a guy that's making $10 million a year or something. The coach has to put the other guy in. He has to. Gurley was
maybe we'll see
a
little bit of him in the night game tonight. Little Henderson.
Yeah, why not? Got San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo up against the Cardinals. Man, I think it's really interesting that there's so much money on the Cardinals. Actually, this line got pushed down. I saw it go higher than this, and now it's back to a touchdown. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I don't know. Brian, talk some sense into me here. I don't know.
I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. I think the Cardinals are going to have an up year, but I think Niners are getting no respect here. And if you can get it at 6.5, I would bet Niners here.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on Arizona in the points. I just think that Kyler Murray's going to make this an entertaining game. As much as I like that San Francisco defense, I think Arizona hangs here, so give me the Cardinals and the points.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I got to take Cardinals and the points too. This is a division matchup. It's always closer than a touchdown. Give me the Cardinals and the points.
Yeah, I'm on the other side here. I just think that the Niners are going to come out with something to prove. They remember their last 5 minutes of last season. And they have guys that can prove it up against a team that it's still, they're still the Cardinals, right? They got Hopkins. They have, Kenyon Drake looked really good last year. Is he still on the team, Kenyon Drake? Did they re-sign him?
Yep, starting running back.
Yeah, I don't know. So he looked really good, like a good acquisition for Miami. Of course, we got him in the picture back here. But I don't know, man. I just think the Niners have I could see the Niners winning by 50 as well. I could see it being a close game, but I could see them winning by 50. I think that, when you have a team that performs well and, the first year after, like that they go to the Super Bowl, is usually not when everybody leaves. After a while, the San Francisco team, everyone will be too expensive, right, to keep the team together. And that's, the same with Kansas City, right? They're just too expensive to keep the team together. So what will happen is they'll start to pare down. But I think what the Niners have done outside of the receiver, right? Samuel's out, right? So that's big. He's their best receiver. Outside of him being out, a lot of the subtraction that they've done is probably helps their team. And kind of like with the Rams, it's like get rid of Todd Gurley. That's addition by subtraction. It's kind of like you take those pieces out that, it's kind of, you have too much. You have too many guys. And I think that they did that. I don't know when you trade your starting defensive tackle that was kind of a superstar that necessarily does it, but they must have felt they had something there that they didn't need him, and that they were going to get a ton back, and they did, right? Speaking of a ton back, Saints and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady makes his debut in Tampa Bay uniform. Goes up against the Saints, who played in a lot of really close games. It's right, like being that most people think they have this electric offense. They play in a lot of really tight games. Pretty good defense. And here's another team that they got rid of. The cornerback from that the Giants had drafted from Ohio State.
Eli Apple.
Oh yeah, they got rid of him, and they replaced him with a superstar. I don't remember exactly what the deal was, but it was kind of like we got rid of him, but we got somebody really good. They got somebody really good. I forget who it was. I'll have to look at the depth chart. It's been a while, but we'll get the names down. But we know the general gist of it. Brian, what do you think?
I'll tell you what, guys. This is one of my premium plays. I'm going to give it out for free. I really think the Saints put a whooping on Tampa Bay. It takes players a little while to gel together. I think getting 3.5 just looks like a trap with Tampa Bay. So I think the Saints come in there and take care of business, get the bad taste out of their mouth.
How about you? They got Janoris Jenkins. That's who they got to replace Eli Apple. I would do that trade 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Chris?
Twice on Sunday. Yeah, I think if you get any total under 50 here, that's a steal. I think this one soars over the total. I think this one could get closer to 60. Give me the over.
How many snaps until Alex Anzalone gets injured?
3.
All right. How about you, Rod? Who do you like in this one?
I agree with Brian. Give me the Saints here. Bucs are all hyped up, and I'll go against that hype. Give me the Saints.
And the thing about Anzalone is it's not a swipe at his talent. It's just this is a guy that tries so hard. He's always injured, and it's an effort thing. Steelers versus Giants game on Pick Dogs has the wrong info. It has the Dallas game. Huh. All right. Well, I'll have to find out who did that. Thank you. Appreciated. Not really the best place to let us know, but could have emailed it to me. Anyways, the Sunday night matchup, the Rams and the Cowboys. Cowboys are favored on the road. The line is dipping with 52% on Dallas. It's a slight amount, but Cowboys games, while the NFL games are always heavily bet, Cowboys games are really heavily bet. Brian, what do you think here with this dropping line with the Rams? Everyone knows I hate Goff, but I'll tell you what I hate more is the Cowboys on the road, man. It's like they lost to the Jets last year.
The Cowboys on the road, especially laying some points, usually not a good place I want to be. I think in this game you'll see both defenses come to play. I think it goes under the total.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I agree with Brian. Give me the under here. That's way too high, I think. Teams that like to run the ball.
Chris?
Yeah, I like the Cowboys here. I think the Cowboys win this one by at least a touchdown.
Okay, the Cowboys at the Saints. They covered last year. They beat the Washington football team on the road. Then they lost to the Jets on the road. They beat the Giants on the road, which was basically a home game. They beat the Lions on the road. They lost to New England. They lost to the Bears. And then they lost to the Eagles in what was essentially a playoff game on the road last season. I don't know. I think getting rid of Todd Gurley was the best thing the Rams could have done. I never loved that extension of that contract. I thought it was crazy. I think the extensions that these running backs are getting is nuts. Nuts. It's like the running backs are not the key players. And Brian's a fantasy football player, so he'll tell you. running back numbers, running backs don't have the value that they once had, right? Isn't that?
Yeah,
the
we
case?
don't see many Emmett Smiths anymore, where a guy plays 15 or how many years Emmett played at a quality level. So,
yeah, you just don't see it. But so everyone that's watching the show, it's like I said, my stats are all messed up because this YouTube events thing. But I know that we have, I don't know, 700 people watching us or something. So if you guys could smash the like button, greatly appreciate it. Takes you guys a half a second, costs you nothing. If you're watching us on a phone, what you have to do is shrink the comments. Then you'll see the option to hit the like button. And then once you've done that, then you can just click the comments. It'll come right back up on the screen. I don't have my phone with me. I'll show you exactly how to do it. 20,000 people banned from our YouTube channel. So that's actually the subscribers. That's a number that we passed yesterday. Everyone knows my goal is 10 million, but I'm still pretty proud of that 20,000 in less than a year. So I appreciate everyone that has taken the time to subscribe to our channel, join our shows, and hit a like button. It's way appreciated, man. It's like, I don't think you guys realize how much time, well, you guys probably do realize how much time I spend in the studio doing those videos every day. Anyways, we got Major League Baseball today. We're going to go through the card really quickly because we've been on the air for quite some time now. And we know that, a lot of people are here for the NFL. But let's get through it. Max Scherzer and Kyle Wright, Brian. Nationals, Braves.
Rapid fire picks coming up. Max Scherzer has been looking. I mean, he was a stud last time. I think 7 innings pitched, near shutout. I'm going to take Nationals -1.5 here.
Chris?
Yeah, line's dropping, but that just means more value on the run line. Give me Washington -1.5.
Yeah, Kyle Wright's a bum. Rod?
I agree. Give me the Nationals on the run line.
Got John Means and Jay Happ going at it. Yankees and Orioles. Man, the Yankees kind of squeezing out wins here against Baltimore. I liked Baltimore yesterday. Lost a couple bucks on that. Kind of added to the pain. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, all the values on the Orioles again today. Means didn't do too bad last time out. I'm going to take a chance of Baltimore here.
Chris?
I'm going to take the under 9.5. Normally I see Means and half and think over. I think both show up here. Give me the under.
And Rod?
Both Means and half showed up last game and gave up one run. I'm going to go the over. I think they go back to their ball card, and we see this game go flying over the number.
God, someone said to give you a line of Coke.
Who?
It's Chris.
I was going to say,
Chris is
I
like,
don't know about Coke, but I have Pepsi.
Chris is like, I'm down. Yeah, all right.
Why not give me a pick me up?
I'm down. Sixto Sanchez is pitching today. We always go with Sixto. Brian's Marlins, Phillies.
I can't pass on Sixto Hernandez. He's been pretty rock solid. Give me the Marlins here.
Sixto's kind of our guy, Chris. You going to go against him?
Not a chance. Give me Sixto and the Marlins here.
How about you, Rod? All Sixto all the time?
Yeah. Make it unanimous.
It's all Sixto all the time on this show. We got Martin Perez against Charlie Morton. Red Sox, Rays. The Rays actually see glass now. Made it interesting yesterday. You couldn't even lay the run line with them and get effective. But what do you think, Brian?
I lost with the Red Sox yesterday on a small play. I'm going to go back to them here. I'm not laying this kind of juice with the Tampa Bay.
How about you, Chris?
I'm taking the over 8. This total's really low for Perez and Morton. Give me the over.
How about
I agree.
you,
Give me the over.
Brian, side question here, fantasy football. I know you're a fantasy guy. Who's the guy that was it could be a rookie or could be a guy that maybe an underachiever of the past. Who's the fantasy guy that becomes a fantasy legend today? Like the guy that everyone's trying to trade for. He might be on rosters. He might not be. Who's the guy? Is it Ruggs against that Panther secondary?
Give me 5 minutes to think about it.
All right.
All
right. I think it could be Paris Campbell, but anyways, and it could be Ruggs. It could also be Michael Pittman Jr. Chris?
If we're going for week 1, I was going to say Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy too, but against that Titans defense.
Yeah, but I think the Broncos are going to have to be throwing for a lot of that game, and I think he could have a big game.
I'll tell you who is also really good on the Broncos, who could be the sleeper, is Hamler, the second round pick. That guy is good. It's like that guy is really good, man. It's like he basically took on Ohio State by himself, backdoored them, right? Rod,
I got an answer for you. Noah Fant, Monday Night Football for the Broncos. You see him establish himself as a really super tight end.
No one likes a tight end more than Bittler. We've got Rod. Who do you like in the Rays versus Red Sox? Charlie Morton and Martin Perez.
Over.
Chris, did you give a pick here?
Yeah, I like the over.
All right. I like the Rays on the run line. Got Brad Keller and Chad Kuhl, Royals and the Pirates. I tell you, I bet the Royals a little heavy yesterday because I had lost a couple of bets I chased with the Royals. I put them on the run line. It was thank God. I think, but the nice thing was they'd probably still be up if they would let them. Brian, who do you like here? Keller and Kuhl. The Royals are rolling, man.
I'm probably going to put the kibosh on the Royals because I like them today too. I like Keller. Give me the Royals.
We didn't skip the Raiders. Went over them.
No, we got it. Yeah, give me the Royals on the run line. I like Keller more than I like Kuhl.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, give me the Royals with cheese. They just keep winning. They sweep the Pirates.
So I'm getting a little bit of hate here for my Dalvin Cook saying that he'd lay down after signing the contract. Let's just say that Dalvin Cook isn't really known for playing full, complete NFL seasons. Just throwing it out there. Anyways, Tristan McKenzie and Michael Pineda in Minnesota, the Twins pushing the Indians around here. The Indians now 26-20. The Twins 29-18, and the White Sox now running away with the Central. It's craziness, and it's all because of the Twins' dominance here of the Indians and this young pitching staff. But the guy who's supposed to be going to be the guy, right, is there today. Tristan McKenzie up against Michael Pineda, who always has a big smile on his face, but I'll tell you, he always seems to get rocked. And Susan Waldman, who calls the Yankee games, she always said that about Michael Pineda, is that here's a guy who loves playing the game, and he always looks happiest when he's on the mound. And it's true, The problem is that he's always in a bad matchup at a big price, right? He's always like way over bet, and it's like he doesn't really have those kind of career numbers to justify it. He's minus 130 against Tristan McKenzie, who had a bad outing last time. I think we just get more value on him. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, bounce back with McKenzie and the Indians today. Give me a little bit of plus money.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under here. I could see this being a 4-2 game. I'll side with the under.
How about you, Rod?
I'm going to take the Twins. Give me the Twins for the sweep.
All right, we got the Chicago White Sox. Jonathan Stever on the mound against Spencer Turnbull. Break up the White Sox, man. This team is, like I said a couple weeks ago, this looks to be the American League team in the World Series. It's going to be them or the A's.
And using Detroit to warm up some prospects the last couple of games, too.
Yeah, it's like...
we'll use Detroit as a little prospect build up.
Oh, nice. We got a fight going on in our YouTube comments. People are yelling at each other. They're not yelling at me. Smash the like button, guys. Smash it. I love that saying. I don't know who said it. Like someone in our comments always says it. Smash the like button. It's like, where are we? We're on the White Sox still. We got it already.
Give me the Tigers today. Spencer Turnbull on the mound. That's a lot of plus money. I think Tigers win.
Chris?
I was waiting for the soundboard to be broken out today. Give me the White Sox on the run line.
How about you, Rod?
I think I said White Sox by a football score. I think they did that yesterday. Same thing, White Sox by a touchdown.
Got the Brewers and the Cubs. Adrian Hauser against Alec Mills. The Brewers super disappointing last night for me, but I still think that I like him here against Alec Mills. I like everyone against Alec Mills. I'll take Matthew Stafford.
I think this is the best bet on the baseball card today. I had the Brewers yesterday and lost, but I'm right back on. Take the Brewers.
How about you, Chris?
Now on the Cubs here. I think the Cubs are the better team. So, and even with Alec Mills on the road, I like the Cubs.
How about you, Rod?
I'll take the Brewers here today.
Oh, God. Here's my comment of the day. Thank me later. He takes a favorite on the money line and says, thank me later. And so
take Raiders on the money line. Thank me later.
Thank me later. It's like, or like, who's the biggest favorite on the board? Thank me later. It's like, take the Ravens on the money line. Thank me later.
Take the Colts minus 400.
Yeah. Thank me later. So that means if they lose, we get to kick you in the teeth, right? We all get to like find you and kick you in the teeth. Is that how that one works? I'm on Twitch. We're on Twitch. No one ever watches on Twitch. We are on Twitch. We are there. I don't know how to do it, but we are on there every single day. I think we've had 2 people like in the last month tune in. It's always the 6 o'clock show. It's never us. Yeah, that's just when you see the viewer counts on that, that's just on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on everything else. And that's just on one YouTube channel. We're also on the Sports Chat YouTube channel. We have like 1,000 people watching us or something. Something crazy. Texas and Oakland, Lance Lynn is on the mound here against Andrew Heaney minus 160. Oh, man, that is... Anyways, Andrew Heaney at minus 161. It's kind of like a... what's his name? The guy with the king of the one-liners. Henny Youngman. Andrew Heaney at minus 161. Brian?
Wait, what?
I think we're on the Lance Lynn Freddie Montas game, right? The Oakland Rangers.
Oh, I'm on the wrong game.
I'm going to go with the Rangers here at home, plus money. Can't pass up Lance Lynn this week.
Maybe it's that Heaney at minus 161 that I can't get out of my mind here. How about you, Chris?
give me Texas here. I like Texas in the plus money.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I'll take a shot at Texas here.
I like Texas. I like Texas also. Carlos is pitching for the Cardinals, one of the biggest underachievers on the planet. Carlos Martinez up against Tyler Mahle for the Reds. This has been a weird series, right? What do you
Reds
think,
all day today. Reds all day today.
Yep. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Reds as well.
Reds.
We have a consensus.
Don't forget to buy our consensus report under the live show tab, premium picks. Get our live show best consensus play.
Yeah, best of the live show. I think
best.
I gave out my NBA pick in there. The best of the live show.
And there's a football or two in there. So.
And I'm number 1 NBA.
I'll get you next year.
I've said it twice in one show. That's really bad. Hyun-Jin Ryu against David Peterson. Well, Dana Lane gets to say that he's number 1 in baseball all the time. Hyun-Jin Ryu against David Peterson. We got the Blue Jays up against the Mets. Spread Knowledge loves the Metropolitans in this one. Brian?
Good old Peterson. I'm going to go with Rue. Give me the Blue Jays here, lay 1.5.
Over-under for packs of cigarettes smoked by Ryu in the first 4 innings?
2.5.
Marlboro Reds or Pall Malls?
He's already through 1 in the clubhouse right now.
It's like It's like, what exactly did you change this year, Rio? He's like, I went from Marlboro Reds to Pall Malls. It's like, this is a big change.
What are those real thin cigarettes? Capris that women smoke?
I don't know. I quit smoking a long time ago.
You watch. He's going to get suspended for conduct detrimental to the team because he smacked one of the clubhouse guys for bringing him a carton of Camels.
Keith Hernandez used to always smoke in the dugout. You know, he was a smoker in the dugout. There was a lot of guys that used to smoke. Dean Smith, the coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels, used to sit on the sidelines of the court inside the arena and smoke. I mean, you used to be able to smoke in the stands, like at arenas. You used to go to a game, you'd be able to just sit there and smoke. Didn't matter. Dean Smith used to smoke on the sidelines. Like all this stuff that they talk about, the great Dean Smith. Total smoker. Chris?
Yeah, I like Toronto on the run line here. I like Rue.
Going against spread knowledge. Rod?
Ugh. The game I don't like. Definitely not running to the window to bet this. I'd have to lean the Jays, but the world's on the Jays. Give me the Mets.
I'm so far behind on the comments. We need a moderator. Some people. But you are seeing that there's two different streams, right? An event and a thing. So in the future, we're only going to have the event. We're not going to have the other one. It's just that's what YouTube is going to let us do, the way that we do things. It's saying that we can only have the event.
Oh, I do see that. There's two different channels, and you got 90 on one, and then 400 and something on another. 451 on one, and 90 on another. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, starting tomorrow, we're only going to have the event, I believe, because YouTube by the end of the month they're going to do away with the. They have two different things on YouTube. One is called Stream Now, and one's called the Event. And I don't really know the difference. I don't care as long as you guys can watch us. If you want to watch it, if you don't want to watch us, well, then you don't have to watch it. It doesn't bother me. But we've got Luke Weaver and Dunn on. Oh no, we got Heaney at -161.
Brian. Give me the Angels. I think they're trying to scare you off of them. I'm not betting more than $50, but give me the
Angels here. Imagination. No, I'm going to take the over here. I think both Heaney and Castellani get lit up here.
Yeah. Rod?
I'm going to take the Angels, too. Do I get sprinkled with dust, too? Yeah. they cracked a 3-run home run and beat them.
This is going to be your bankroll.
That dust is some of the coke that was left over from earlier.
See, I'm the kind of person when I see a line that just, man, what's up with that line? That makes me just want to bet it. The worse it looks, I don't know. Oh, that's me.
Like I haven't been roasted on the Angels enough this season. Brian's like,
the Angels and the Reds.
Brian's like, how many games have the Angels lost this year? 28. I've only been kicking the balls 26 times this season. It's like
Angels and Reds are my two big bugaboos.
It's like Brian's been kicked in the nuts by the Angels more than anyone.
Well, I haven't been kicked by the Angels yet, so I'm going in.
It's a first time for everything.
Speaking about a kick in the nuts, Luke Weaver's pitching today, up against Justin Dunn. Everyone knows I'm a big Dunn guy.
I'm going Mariners here.
I'm going Mariners reverse run line.
So I'm showing Padres Giants. Are they playing? I don't think so, right?
I don't see a line.
Yeah, I don't think they're. I thought it was. I thought the series was canceled.
Yeah, that's why I always get surprised when I see people put picks in on that game. I just don't. I mean, it's pretty obvious they're not playing the series.
Yeah, they're playing. Looks like.
Really?
They're playing, but I don't have a line out yet. There's a chance they're going to play today, but I don't see a line.
The COVID cure in 2 days now. Oh, man. So frustrating. I love that the Big Ten is kind of like, oh, man. It's like, and the thing is.
We want to play.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that with the SEC not starting until September 26th, if they start the first week of October, They really didn't miss much, right? And they just don't take any weeks off. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they're going to play a doubleheader today.
They are playing.
After 2 days of clean tests.
So Clevenger is pitching in the first one. We're definitely fading him, right? With the Giants.
I think I saw Logan Webb and Clevenger in the first one.
Yeah, we'll take Logan Webb in that one. How about you?
Depends what the line is.
I don't care what the line is. How about that? The Padres are going to be a huge favorite.
I'll tell you what. If I can get the Padres at minus 150 with Clevenger, I'd take it. But anything over that, I'd go Giants.
They're going to be like minus 200 easily.
Well, then we go Giants.
It's probably going to be around the minus 180 if I'm guessing.
Giants.
Yeah, all day. They're going to win this game outright. Cueto's probably the late game too, because his game got canceled. It could be Cueto on Clevenger, or it could be Cueto in the late game against Lamet. Wasn't that the game that got canceled?
Yeah, Lamet's start got canceled.
Yeah, against Cueto. So I think I like Cueto in that one too.
I think if you take the Giants at both games and bet equal amount, you should win at least one out of two of them.
Speaking of games no one cares about, the Dodgers against the Astros. They're putting this one up against the Cowboys game. That's how much they care about this one. Anything here, Brian? I don't see a Dodgers.
Who the heck's pitching for the Astros?
Astros Greinke.
I'm gonna take a shot with the Astros again today.
He loves pitching in L.A. Chris?
Yeah, there's TBD for the Dodgers, but I'll still take the Astros here.
You down with TBD?
Yeah, you know me.
How about you, Rod?
I'll take Houston here.
All right, we got the NHL. Man, 3:00.
Did anybody see the picture of Chris dancing in the club that somebody posted in the Pick Dogs chat room? I really enjoyed that, whoever that was.
Oh,
Chris was like
the Vito. Yeah.
The Vito, yeah. Yeah, it's a Vito.
There was not supposed to be footage of that.
Well, it's out there.
The Islanders are taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning here. Rod, any hope for the Islanders? I just go with the dogs in every NHL hockey game. It's like so far it's been good to me.
For me, I think we get back to goals being a premium in this game. We got some goals last game. I'm gonna take the under in this one. I don't think we're gonna go flying over that number.
How about you, Chris?
I'm just gonna take a shot from a value standpoint with the Islanders. I just think we've seen them do it once. They have some confidence. They know they can get it back to 2-2, make it a best of 3 series. So give me the Islanders.
Brian, any opinion?
Islanders 2-1 today. I lost yesterday to Vegas, but I'm gonna right back on the dog here. 2-1 Islanders today.
All right, it's everyone's favorite part.
Oh, sorry, I don't have a button.
I don't know what some of these buttons do.
One of them's like a whoopee cushion.
All right. I think you can program. I think you can program these to say whatever you want. So I'll have to get some stuff that we say on the show and just be like, program them in. I'll have to find those instructions. Those easy to read instructions. All right. Parlay time. Chris? What kind of parlay are you going to do today? Multi-sport? You're going to do the NFL? What do you got for us?
I'm gonna go three money line, but I'm gonna go multi-sport. I'm gonna take the Denver Nuggets on the money line. I'm gonna take the Carolina Panthers on the money line, and I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers on the money line. Should pay about 20-1.
How about you, Rod?
For me, I'm gonna take the Bears on the money line, the Panthers on the money line, and the Seattle Mariners on the money line.
Brian?
Redskins plus the points, Panthers plus the points, Jaguars plus the points.
I like the Dolphins on the money line. I like the Panthers on the money line and the Packers on the money line. All right. I'll see you guys at halftime of the early NFL games. As soon as the first game goes to the half is when I'll have everything set up. So it might take me a little bit, but as soon as you see that first game that goes to the half, I'll come on. I'll start to get set up and come on live. I'll go on probably just a minute or so after that game comes on, and then after that, I'll stay on at halftime of the early games until the last game goes off. And then I'll also be here live at halftime on Sunday night. Thanks to everyone that's joined us. Thanks to everyone that subscribed to our channel and smash that like button as well. Costs you nothing, takes you half a second, helps us a ton, keeps these shows free. And, of course, we'll try and act more professional tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.